Folks, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. This is Moose and Guns. Now, right now, it is 6 degrees Fahrenheit. The winds are blowing, the wind chill, you're looking at negative 20 degrees. The question is, will good old Moose start? Let's find out. Fire up the glow plugs. Wait for the light to go off, wait for the click. All right, here we go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yes. Woohoo! She did not like that. She did not like that. It is cold. Yeah, she's spitting and sputtering. Smoking too. All right, everybody, it is time to get out of here. Now, since the roads are covered in snow, they're slick, I'm going to focus more on driving. I will catch up with you all when we get to Lone Wolf Mountain. Now, folks, as you can see there, good old Moose is back in action. It is certainly time for another episode of Moose and Guns. Now, since the last time that you saw her, this truck has been having surgery. And gosh, is that wind cold. It is so cold out right now, and the wind chills are so low that you can get frostbite on exposed skin in 30 minutes. So we definitely have to be careful, we have to be smart. Whew. Put on an extra pair of gloves. Yes, I have put a decal on good old Moose here, and there's multiple reasons for that. First off, it is the American flag. I think it looks awesome. I love America, I love this truck. But I put this decal on here to stop the paint from cracking on the hood. If you guys remember, I showed you all where the paint was cracking right here along the top of the hood. So that basically has sealed it in. No more cracking, it hasn't spread anymore. Yeah, it's a perfect fix. Not a very good fix, but it's a fix nonetheless. Moose here, the 1986 CUCV M1008 did have surgery. We replaced the head on this truck here, and my mechanic did that for free. He's a really good guy. He has a great name. It is still leaking a little bit of oil from the rear seal, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. For every episode of Moose and Guns, we pull out a firearm from my collection and we go have some fun here on Lone Wolf Mountain. Today is no exception, but things will be done a little bit differently. First, let me grab the gun. Or I should say, guns. First off is my trusty shotgun. You guys have seen this before. This is my Mossberg 590A1. Fantastic shotgun. Now you may be thinking, Luke, why do you have that again? Well, I'll get to that in just a minute. Let's get the other one. This right here is the main star of this shooting adventure. This is an SKS, which I have modified, as you can tell. Gone is the wooden stock. I have replaced it with a synthetic stock, mounted a scope on it. The story behind this gun is fairly entertaining. And it goes back to around the year 2005, something like that. I had hopped on a local webpage where people can list guns for sale, and I was just checking out what they had. Well, I happened to come across a listing for this SKS. Now, at the time, it had a wooden stock, all that good stuff, but it also had a brother. It was a 2-for-1 deal. This guy was selling both of these rifles. Both of them were stock, and it was too good to pass up. I got this rifle and the other one for $200. $200. Even back then, that's pretty cheap. So I contacted the guy, I set up the arrangements to meet him, and he selected this location that was just out in the middle of nowhere, an area that I wasn't all too familiar with. It was like in this gas station parking lot. He said it was a gas station. I was thinking it's gonna be like a regular gas station. That sounds pretty safe. Well, I'm driving out there to meet him. I come to the gas station, right? And it is like the biggest hole in the ground you've ever seen. I'm pretty sure the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was like in the background there hacking up bodies and stuff. Anyway, so I pull in, I'm a little bit sketched out. I did have my 1911 with me. It was ready to go, and that made me feel a little bit better about the situation. So this guy pulls in, and he opens the door, I hop out, and when I go over to shake his hand, he is like black and blue, like all over. I mean, he looked like somebody took a baseball bat and just like beat his ass. He's like, okay, I got the guns in the back. It's like a Tahoe thing. So I start walking, and I mean, he is just shuffling along. You know, he's making his way. He is in rough shape. And the guy was pretty young. I would say he was probably 30 years old or so. So we make it to the back. I check out the guns. You know, I tell him, like, man, this is a really good deal, you know, and yeah, they're sold. I'll buy it. Well, he goes on to tell me that he had just been in a motorcycle accident. And, like, he had hospital bills like you couldn't imagine. So I ended up giving him $250. I gave him an extra $50 just because the deal was so good. And I could tell that he needed that money more than I did. So you guys have seen both of the rifles. You may be wondering, what am I doing with two of them? Well, we have a mission today. And it is to shoot this piece of crap right here. This is the backpack which I purchased from the Sportsman Guide. That piece of garbage. The big ripoff. You guys have seen that video. It's fairly popular. You guys saw how pathetic this pack is. And I mentioned at the very end that we were going to shoot this pack. It's time to destroy it. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we will take some shots with the SKS, but the shotgun really is here to tear it all to pieces. Now, as an update for that situation, I was contacted by the Sportsman Guide about this pack, about my review. You guys apparently commented on their webpage, sent in so many messages and emails that they reached out to me. They took the listing down, and I have to be honest, I'm not really sure how I feel about the communications that I had with them. They stated that the listing for this backpack was a complete mistake, and that it was supposed to be a different product. You know, I can almost believe that. Almost, not quite. To refresh your memory, on the Sportsman Guide website, you can ask questions. It shows up on the webpage, and then someone from the site, they will answer those questions. Well, I knew this was not military surplus. I could just tell by the look of it. So I asked them, hey guys, you know, who makes this pack? What is the NSN number? And that is NATO stock number, national stock number, whatever you want to go by. And my question was deleted every single time. I emailed them, never got a response. So I don't know if I believe that story all that much, that this was a listing mistake. I don't know. You know, it's really not for me to decide that. I can only tell you how I felt about it. Now, talking about how I felt about their communications, in my opinion, it was kind of odd. So check this out. This is pretty strange. My wife gets a phone call from the Sportsman Guide, and I can't remember the name of the individual who left the message. And he's like, you know, hey, I want to talk to Luke, get him to call me, whatever. Well, I go to my email. There's a message on there, and it's talked about, hey, I need to call this guy, but it used a different name. Anyway, so I replied back with the Outdoor Gear Review email address, and I was like, hey, you know, my wife sent me a message saying that she got a phone call from, you know, somebody named this. Is that you? Because, I mean, it was like two different names, totally opposite. And he said yes. That really set off some alarms. Why is this individual using two different names? That is very strange. Since that point in time, I have not heard from them. That's been a couple of weeks. We shall see where it goes from here, if it goes anywhere at all. This whole situation is a real shame on their part. They have lost my business. I've been a long time customer of theirs. Well, I'm not going to do that anymore. I will purchase my ammo elsewhere. Bud's Gun Shop, here I come. So everyone, say good riddance to this piece of garbage. You know, I would have given this away, but this thing is such a piece of junk. All right, so as you can see here, I got my mask on. We're ready to shoot. It is so cold that my face was freezing. So it's time to put the mask on. This definitely helps. Let's do some shooting, folks. Now, you and I both know that this isn't going to do much damage, but it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's take a second. Let's go check out this pack here. That is definitely making a mark. Not really going for accuracy or anything like that. The truth is, I'm a little bit close for this rifle. I might have to go back a little bit. So it's definitely punching its way through, no doubt about that. Let's go back even further so I can really see this thing. Let's do some more shooting. Now that was quite a bit of fun. A little bit of damage, not much. Let's switch over to the shotgun. Let's hit it 4 times, see what happens. Oh yeah. Last one. So this backpack is looking pretty rough now. This thing is shredded. Oh man, those winds are picking up. The snow has stopped, but it's definitely getting windy. Mission accomplished. Now that these winds are kicking up, I pretty much need to call it a day. It's almost too hard to cover all of your skin. We definitely took care of the Sportsman Guide pack. Some people could tell that I was rather pissed off in my review of this pack, and I was, because that was straight up deception. That pack is a piece of garbage. And already I've heard from individuals who were going to purchase this pack but didn't because of my video. That's exactly what we want. That is exactly what I strive for here with the Outdoor Gear Review. We have to keep these companies honest, you know what I mean? What is next for good old Moose? Well, currently I am thinking new tires and a light bar. I'm thinking about mounting a light bar right on the front. I mean, something that could really light up the night. They're not too expensive, they're pretty easy to install, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Definitely new tires for the truck, the light bar. What do you guys think I should do to good old Moose? Do you think I need some more decals? Maybe it's perfect the way it is? You know, if there's some sort of accessory, let me know what you guys think. Now folks, thank you very much for joining me for this episode of Moose and Guns. It was definitely a cold one. It was a lot of fun. I will see you guys around. Consider supporting the channel through Patreon if you liked what you saw here. This is the everyday common man gun channel, adventure channel, and gear reviews. Take care, strength and honor. See ya.